Vasel here, and welcome to Week in Review. This is where we go back as a Dice Tower and take a look at the reviews we did last week. We tell you what we think of those games in short snippets, and if you're interested, you can go back and look at the full reviews of those, for which we'll put links in the description. Are you ready? I'm ready! Let's go!
Hey everybody, Z Garcia here. Last week we put out a new Board Game Blender episode, so go check that out. And I also reviewed 4 things. So I reviewed Medici, the classic Reiner Knizia game, newly reprinted by Graeme Games in a really fantastic edition. The artwork is superb, the usability of the game is very high, and so while I find the game to be perhaps a little lacking in excitement, it is a very well done edition of the game. If you enjoy bidding or if you're already familiar with the game, I do very much recommend it. I also reviewed Saltlands, which is a post-apocalyptic sort of traversal game. Think of it as Mad Max, the board game. And I liked it a lot. There's a couple issues I had with it. It's a little long, and some of the rules are a little obtuse. But overall, a really good post-apocalyptic game. I also reviewed a game called It's Mine, a 2-player drafting game where you're controlling thieves. And this one I really like. Very engaging, tricky, thinky, highly tactical. It's all about making the right combos. It sort of feels like Seven Wonders 4-2 if you consider the duel not existing, right? And lastly, I reviewed Blue Moon Legends, which is a reprint of Blue Moon, a 2-player head-to-head game, with everything that has ever come out in one single box, and it is phenomenal. It's a game I really adore, so you sort of have to take my opinion there with a grain of salt, but for me, this is a 10. The game is just superb. They put everything in one box. It's so much variability in there, so much content, so much fun, so much to explore. So if you're looking for a game 4-2 in that sort of combo style, I also would very much recommend Blue Moon Legends. And that's it for me. I'll see y'all next time.
Hey folks, welcome back to another Week in Review. This week I was part of 7 different videos. The first 2 were Miami Dice videos where Tom, Z, and I were giving our collaborative thoughts on, first of all, the first impressions of Gloomhaven, in which I said that I actually did enjoy the game. I just wasn't too sure about some of the core mechanics, so I want to play it some more to see how those flesh out. Maybe I'll like it better, maybe I won't. My initial impression is about a 6, but I'm hoping to see that improve. The other one was for Time Stories Expedition Endurance, the new module that just came out, well, a little while ago, and we finally got it in, and I love this module. It's probably my second favorite out of the entire series so far, so go check out that review for all of our complete thoughts there. Then I also did a review for Roundhouse. It is a worker placement rondelle game from Emperor S4 Games, same company that has brought you Hanamakoji from the East, and I enjoyed the game, but it's a little bit too heavy and a little bit too long for me for what it is. It's basically just a Euro game where you're churning an engine to get the most points, and the theme is decent, it's cool, but it's just not enough to carry me over. So I enjoyed the game, but not as much as some of you out there will, so I still encourage you to give it a try. Another one was V Commandos Resistance. This is an expansion for a game that I really have enjoyed ever since I was introduced to it last year at UKGE. The Resistance expansion just adds so much more flavor to the game, and I really enjoy both of the expansions actually, but Resistance is the one that I focused on this week, so go check that out. I also did 2 top lists. I did a top 5 Carcassonne versions where I excluded the base game and all of the different expansions that are out there. Then I also did a top 10 game mechanisms. Now, a lot of the comments under this one has been, oh, we would have liked to see some examples of games that you're talking about in this mechanism. Hold on to your hats, because that's actually coming starting next week. I'm going to go through the list as much as I can, because there have been some of these mechanisms where me and the other 2 guys have already done a top 10 list for that. And then finally, Rob and I were able to do a Battling Brushes. We're continuing our Blood Bowl series, where I'm this week taking on the Orc Lineman, and Rob did the Human Catchers. So go check that out and see how we did those. See you guys on the flip side.
Hi, this is Santi, and this week I took a look at Eco, a really neat and good abstract game with a little bit of a tiny theme, which makes the game a little bit more entertaining and not this kind of dense abstract. It's a game I quite enjoy a lot, and that's the reason I gave it an 8 and a seal of approval. So if you want to see more about Eco, you might want to check out my review. Hope to see you soon again. Thanks for watching and thanks for the support.
Hello, Tacos here. Well, this week I reviewed Black Orchestra. This is a cooperative game where you're trying to assassinate or stop Hitler as soon as you can during the Second World War. Doing so is hard. You have to combine your resources and have everything match at the same time and just make everything go smoothly using dice. Now, this game is really historical, but of course you are messing with history because you have random events and it's a game and you're trying to kill Hitler. And if it felt like a story, you would never succeed. So of course, it's different. But the game is interesting, but has some serious flaw that I really think pulls it right back from my recommendation. But please check out my video to see what I mean. Okay, see ya.
Hi guys, it's Breacher18 here, and this week I reviewed Cavern Tavern, which is a dice placement game where you are collecting ingredients and you are fulfilling orders, all whilst against the time. So I'm going to give this one a 7. Check it.
Hey folks, Mark here. Last week, Randy and I finally took a look at Adrenaline. This was one of my favorite games from 2016. It's a fast-paced tournament-style game where you are trying to hunt down your fellow players. But beware, they will be doing the same to you. With many weapons to choose from, all with lots of variations to keep you on your toes. The graphics are bright and beautiful. The game plays so fast, it is quite frankly a blast. It truly is a first-person shooter in a board game. Simply fun. So don't miss this one and go check out our review. Also, don't miss last week's Board Game Blender. I'm one of many contributors on this one. Some really great folks talking about board games, so give it a look. Alright folks, until next time, we'll see you at the table.
So what's up, Dice Tower? This is Brian Drake with the latest retro, taking a look at this week in review. I looked at 2 games this week. Number 1, Karuba, running through the jungles trying to get to your treasure the fastest before your other team gets there, before your other players get there. It's a great game, tile laying, fast, clean, fun game that's quick and a good slot for that filler game in game night. Second game I took a look at, actually 2 and 3, was Cavern versus Agricola, the great just attack of the super champions. Which one comes out best? Both are worker placement games by Uwe Rosenberg. Find out which one you like better and which one you should get. Check out the review here. The dawn of worker placements or something like that, I called it. So, Caverna and Agricola, those 2 together. Again, I'm Brian Drake. I'll see you next time.
And for me, we'll start with Barrage Battle, which I thought would be a cooler game. It involves throwing dice at enemy pieces. That's part of the game. It's actually the most fun part of the game. The game itself, though, felt uninspired, was just a little boring running around attacking each other with cards. Unfair, this one I'm in the minority on. I was not a huge fan of this game. I love the theming of it, building an amusement park. I love the artwork. The whole thing just looks really cool, but the take that elements are extremely high, and even if you use the optional roll to take them out, I felt like luck was just too prevalent in a game that was this long. That's unfair. Almost Got Him from Batman the Animated Series is based on a cartoon from that series, one of the episodes, and it's really well done theme-wise, right? This really makes sense. Everyone's sitting around a table, they're all villains playing poker, and one person secretly Batman. It's another werewolf-style game. It's just a little too convoluted. There's just a little too much going on for this really to hit the spot with me. Portal of Heroes is a very simple game in which players are collecting sets of number cards and then using those to get heroes to come and help them. These heroes range from Conan to Alice in Wonderland mixed together, but the theming is kind of just there, just collecting. But the artwork is great. It's simple, easy, fun. Some of the things give you special abilities. A nice filler. Micro Robots, while not as difficult as I would like it to be. Basically, you're just moving around a grid. It's a logic thing. It's basically the smaller cousin of Ricochet robots. But it does fit in the pocket. It's easy to get around, and if you like programming and logic, you'll probably enjoy it. Then we have Isle of Monsters. Isle of Monsters is a fun game from Mayday Games in which you are collecting, you're like drafting food for your monsters, then using your monsters in a somewhat rock, paper, scissors style method to score the most points. Simple, easy, and fun. Mint Wars. Mint Works, I'm sorry, Mint Wars would be a good sequel to it. Mint Works is a game that comes in a little mint container. I'm actually keeping it because it's such a small game. I really enjoy this one. It's a little worker placement game that plays well with 2, 3, or 4 players. Simple, fast, and again, the size here is actually a plus. I'm not normally a big fan of these micro games, but in this case, it really worked for its favor. Of course, if they came out with a sequel, I would want to get it. Then we have Ethnos. Wow, did I like this game. I was really surprised at how much this game didn't really look that exciting to me. It looked kind of generic, fantasy races, controlling areas, but the way these races work, it feels like a Ticket to Ride area control game, which is something I think is badly needed. I also really enjoyed the Time Stories Expedition Endurance. We did a regular review and a spoiler-filled review. This is probably my second or third favorite of the scenarios thus far. Great story, as always, great art. And that's pretty much all I can tell you because everything else over that would be spoilers. And finally, Gloomhaven. We gave our first impressions of it this week, but I can tell you that my second, third, and fourth impressions are pretty high. I've been playing this all week. It's set up on a table right here, right now. I really would like to play it some more, but I got other things I need to do. This game has grabbed me like no game has in a long time, and my rating here is likely to go up, I would guess, as time goes by. Really, really loving this mega, humongous amount of game in a box that is Gloomhaven. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our week in review. Don't forget to check out Board Game Breakfast, also posted today. Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel, and you've been watching The Dice Tower.